You can call me Percy Pringle III, or you can call me Paul Bear. You're watching Southern States Wrestling, Mountain Empire Wrestling. Oh, yes.
The most action-packed 30 minutes of wrestling action is on right now. Southern States Wrestling. Joe Wheeler here along with Michael Sutherland. And Michael Sutherland, I tell you what, we're all looking forward. August the 10th, International Spectacular here with Southern States Wrestling.
Absolutely. About 2 weeks out from this great event. And, folks, it's going to feature the return to the area of somebody that we all know very well, Dr. Tom Prichard. He's been a mainstay in East Tennessee wrestling for years. All the fans know him. And, folks, we're going to take a special look at Dr. Tom Prichard right here in just a moment. Plus, we're going to get some other great words about the International Spectacular that's coming to Mount Carmel on August the 10th. So you want to make sure you stay around for the entire 30 minutes, folks, because it's something you don't want to miss. Let's take a look at Dr. Tom Prichard right now.
Prichard caught from behind once again by the Hawk. Once again, back to that single leg. Back leg sweep, and let's see, a spinning toe hold. Inside step over. Let's see if he goes into the spinning confirmation or not. Well, he never had a chance to because Prichard used that thumb very effectively. Now fires to the midsection. Fires again to the midsection. And it is the Hawk who turned the tables on Prichard that time, has Prichard in a world of trouble. Well, a variation of the inside step over. He has Prichard in a lot of pain. 10 minutes remaining in the match. Prichard uncorks a right hand, then uncorks another one. Battling after that mask, and the Hawk retaliates. Puts a size 12 on the belt line of Tom Prichard, then catches him once again on those femoris muscles. Prichard down and could be in some kind of trouble here. Headbutt into the upper leg, the thigh of Tom Prichard. Now lashes out with a boot once again. Prichard fires a desperation right hand, another one. And again. The Hawk went for it, and that time Prichard was a step ahead of him. Caught him very nicely. Crossover boot. Got the 3 count. Got the 3 count with the crossover boot. And so, Tom Prichard turns back the challenge of the Hawk. And there you see him raising his hand in victory. For the official word, here's our ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner in the time of 6 minutes, 26 seconds, the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion, Tom Prichard.
Well, let's see if we can take a
everybody, it's your old friend here, Handsome Beau James. Some people like to call me the King of Kingsport, and I'm here to tell you, it's finally here. Do you want to be a wrestler, kid? My first full-length book, 348 pages, never publicly told stories, rare photos, a history lesson of pro wrestling in East Tennessee. How I got my career started as a promoter at the age of 14 years old. How my in-ring career started at 15 years old. Stories of being so blessed and getting to work and compete with people like the Russian Bear Ivan Koloff, the Mongolian Stomper, Izzy Slapowitz, Nature Boy Buddy Landell, Jimmy the Boogie Woogie Man Valiant, Ricky Morton, and a whole lot more. Let's not forget about those practical jokes that wrestlers like to pull on one another, a whole chapter dedicated to that. Tributes to many of my fallen heroes turned friends like Wahoo McDaniel, Road Warrior Hawk, Sherry Martell, Billy Joe Travis, Moondog Spot, and a whole lot more. Buy your copy today, kingofkingsport.com. Each book comes with signed pictures of not only myself, but my beautiful wife, Misty James, and a DVD with never-before-seen matches, interviews, and special insight from me that follows the book. Do you want to be a wrestler, kid? Available now, kingofkingsport.com.
Fans of the Mountain Empire, if you're looking for a great and exciting new way to bring funds into your nonprofit, the way to do it is with a great wrestling card of Southern States Wrestling. We're going to give you the money the night that we collect it right there in your hometown. That way you don't have to wait weeks and weeks on the proceeds to come in, Joe Wheeler. It's a great way to raise funds.
No doubt about that, Michael Sutherland. Great way to get a bunch of folks together, have a good time, enjoy a fun-filled family night with Southern States Wrestling. Wrestling action that you can bring the 5-year-old children right on up to the 88-year-old grandmothers too, because it's family-friendly, family fun, as only Southern States Wrestling can do. If you own a business in the Tri-Cities, we do have advertising space available right here on the Southern States Wrestling Power Half Hour, seen on the CW Tri-Cities 4 and across the world on Facebook and Blip TV. Contact us at the address on your screen, sswking@aol.com for more information.
SSW fundraising events, we're going to meet your needs.
It's an international wrestling spectacular. Friday night, August 10th, Armed Forces Center Armory, 399 Highway 11W, Mount Carmel, Tennessee, and the return to the Mountain Empire of the heavenly body, Dr. Tom Prichard. Mount Carmel, Friday night, August 10th, 8 p.m. at the Armed Forces Center Armory. The stars of the Southern States Wrestling Power Half Hour are coming to a town near you. Be there!
Wrestling fans, Michael Sutherland going to cut right in here on the Power Half Hour to tell you about some upcoming events around the area. Every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. bell time, and every Saturday night, 8 p.m. bell time in Rutledge, Tennessee at the EWP Arena. Check out all the stars. Some of the stars you see right here on the Power Half Hour going to be right there in the Lakeway area. Plus, don't forget, on Saturday night, August the 11th, going to be in Waynesville, North Carolina at the Smoky Mountain Arena. Again, a big-time card of action coming your way. And then the big one for the Mountain Empire, Friday night, August the 10th, Southern States Wrestling presents the International Spectacular. Big-time action coming your way there. Plus, we're going to see the SSW Heavyweight Championship defended as the newly crowned champion. The King of Kingsport, Handsome Beau James, is going to be challenged by the Tennessee champion, Scott Sterling, along with James McCone.
Welcome back, wrestling fans. Joe Wheeler here. Fans, you know, it was at Summer Bash that Eric Darkstorm and Kyle Matthews battled for the first time, and now so much demand for a rematch has gone on that we're bringing it to you on August the 10th. You don't want to miss it. We're going to go right now and take a look at some interviews these guys have sent in talking about Darkstorm Matthews August the 10th.
The tides change so quick, I don't know that we're going to be able to call this action. What an arm drag, taking them straight over there. Kyle Matthews certainly lacks the size, come in tonight at about 195. So from a wrestling standpoint, that's not a large weight factor at all. Most wrestlers we see now 220 or above, but he's a little on the small side. Eric Darkstorm may be going to underestimate him because of that, as Darkstorm a little bit bigger, as you can see. But again, as you said, Joe, this was probably, outside of the heavyweight championship match, the most anticipated match on the card. That's what I heard the fans talking about before the action started tonight, and even during intermission. They said, hey, we're getting ready for Darkstorm and Matthews in just a moment. And ready for it they are. This is going to go back and forth, and I may have to sit out on this, let you guys call it. I may lose my breath on it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's yeah, I'm sure it's going to be tough to call at some points in time. The holds, the counter holds, and as fast as these guys go at it, but they're kind of pacing themselves thus far in the contest. There's a certain feeling out process, too, especially for two wrestlers who've never been in the ring before. They have to test each other's strength, their speed, their reaction, their timing, and this can be very crucial for a wrestler to get that feel about another wrestler, if you will. It's something that's very difficult to explain, but you have to be in there to understand it. Beautiful arm drag takeover there by Kyle Matthews on Eric Darkstorm as he's
August 10th, Friday night. I've cleared my schedule, Eric Darkstorm, and I'm coming back to the Mountain Empire for my one more chance. My one more chance to get in the ring and face you. And at the end of the night, I will beat you. And most importantly, you will shake my hand, and I will earn your respect.
Control moments ago, and Darkstorm has quickly turned things around. Now with a backbreaker, Michael Sutherland. It's been back and forth. Right now, pure talent Eric Darkstorm in control.
Absolutely. Marietta, Georgia native Kyle Matthews, widely regarded as one of the top young athletes in professional wrestling today. If he wasn't, he wouldn't be wrestling right here in Southern States Wrestling. But actually, he said, hey, this is the place to be. I want to come wrestle. Let's get an opponent together. Eric Darkstorm makes his return to Southern States Wrestling a few months ago, so it's only good logic to put these gentlemen together and give a wrestling lesson, one that we can critique in that ring as being one of the best you're going to see anywhere. And as you can see, I can't sit here and say that either man has had an advantage throughout this match, because you have 2 minutes of Kyle Matthews on top. You have 2 minutes of Eric Darkstorm on top, and let's go back and forth. We got a reversal now, and catches him with a big leg lariat and sends Matthews down. Darkstorm on top, and only a 2 count, and that's all we've seen over the last little bit is 1 and 2 counts, and now you can see we got a reverse chin lock.
Fans, I'm joined once again by pure talent Eric Darkstorm. And Eric, some harsh comments last week concerning Kyle Matthews. You talked about you wanted your shot here in Southern States Wrestling.
I think I made myself clear. Harsh comments, all I did was tell the truth, Matt Rhodes. When the Kentucky Derby is over, does anyone remember the jockey's name? Does anyone know who the bantamweight champion is? Does anyone know who the flyweight boxing champion of the world is? No. They know who the heavyweight champion is, though. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to be the heavyweight champion. I'm here to be the Tennessee champion. I'm not here to mess around with little kids. Kyle Matthews is a great competitor, Matt Rhodes. He's a great competitor. Maybe he should go wrestle Rey Mysterio. He's got his mask hanging on his wall, so it might mean a lot to him. As far as me wrestling him, I got nothing to prove. I got nothing else to say about him. I got a lot of respect for Frank the Tank Parker, though, and I really want my shot at him. So I'm undefeated on my watch since I've been back, Matt. Have I lost a match yet?
I haven't seen you lose.
Well, I haven't lost a match. That's why you haven't seen it. So matchmakers, listen up. I want a shot at the heavyweight championship. And when I get that shot, I'm taking it back to West Virginia. And there's 2 things you can do about that. Actually, 1, Matt Rhodes. Nothing.
There you have it from Eric Darkstorm. He has made his priorities loud and clear. Maybe Mac McMurray and Al Bass are listening. We'll find out very soon.
With the economy changing almost daily and not always for the best, let Hassie'sKitchenTable.com keep your food budget under control. Leave the work up to us as we find inexpensive recipes, cooking, and shopping tips. You will soon have all the tips, ideas, recipes you need to feed your family well on a budget and have fun while doing it.
Imperial Healthcare welcomes you to our new location, 645 East Main Street, Kingsport, Tennessee. New patients welcome now. Call 423-734-2318 or 782-0893 to make an appointment with our friendly and qualified staff. Imperial Healthcare of Kingsport, Tennessee. Simple and sincere. Dr. Vijay Singh, MD. Tell them you heard about them on Southern States Wrestling. It's an international wrestling spectacular. Friday night, August 10th, Armed Forces Center Armory, 399 Highway 11W, Mount Carmel, Tennessee, and the return to the Mountain Empire of the heavenly body, Dr. Tom Prichard. Mount Carmel, Friday night, August 10th, 8 p.m. at the Armed Forces Center Armory. The stars of the Southern States Wrestling Power Half Hour are coming to a town near you. Be there!
August the 10th, everything is gearing towards the international spectacular that we're having at the Mount Carmel, Tennessee National Guard Armory. So much has been going on in Southern States Wrestling. We got a new heavyweight champion in Beau James. And Steve Flynn has been challenging Scott Sterling for the Tennessee title. Plus, you know, Mike, I just realized we've almost made it through an episode without Big Mouth James McCone himself. But let's not digress.
Well, coming up right now, we're going to take a special video look at the Tennessee Championship from WrestleFest with Scott Sterling and Steve Flynn. But right after this match, we're going to hear from James McCone. Let's go to the match right now.
In trouble. He could very easily walk away with that Tennessee title tonight, as he is really up for this match, it seems. He's a full head of steam here. Wait a minute, McCone's got a hand in there right there, and McCone was able to make that difference right there, Mike.
Yeah, he had a hand in there all right as he grabbed hold of the back of the trunks of Scott Sterling, which prevented Steve Flynn from monkey flipping him out of the corner, which was what his intentions were, no doubt about it. And that gave Scott Sterling, the Tennessee champion, the upper hand there as he slides in for a cover 1-2, and only a 2 count. Now, Scott Sterling has been the Tennessee champion for a number of months here in Southern States Wrestling, but I know one thing, he has been a defending champion because he's put that championship on the line against a number of formidable competitors. And whether or not you like his tactics in the ring, as he does things just like that, among others, along with what James McCone does on the outside, he has been successful in retaining that championship. And I guess in some ways that's the name of the game, because if you're a champion in the sport of professional wrestling, that makes you somebody, okay? That puts you up atop, you know, on top of the heap, the cream of the crop, I guess you could say. And Steve Flynn now out here on the outside, and referee Jake Booth watching James McCone, making sure that he doesn't stick his nose in there. And you know he's got something brewing in the back of his mind.
Yeah, and it's probably bad. There's no doubt about that. McCone's keeping his distance, so I think well, I was about to say I think he's got enough sense or enough fear of Steve Flynn, but no, he doesn't have any sense. He's over there choking him for everything he's worth. James McCone will do anything and everything he can to try to help one of his champions retain a title, capture a title, or win a match. And, of course, we saw McCone came out and tried to interject himself in Candy Devine and Misty's matchup earlier tonight, and that just completely backfired on him.
I didn't understand that to start with. I didn't know what business he served out there.
Well, the best I could figure, he was trying to perhaps get on Candy's good side and want to help her to try to get that belt away from Misty is the only thing I can figure, you know, but trying to guess what goes on in the mind of James McCone is, you know, well, I won't even go there. But he's got Flynn across that bottom rope. He's choking him across the bottom rope. Now he's just blatant choke with his hand right there as referee Jake Booth was tied up with Scott Sterling. And, you know, McCone could be the equalizing factor in this matchup, as much as I hate to say it, but he could be that factor that Steve Flynn can't overcome in this match.
Well, you may be exactly right there, as Sterling missed a elbow right there, but I don't think that's going to be enough to turn the tides for Steve Flynn's way, that's for sure. But James McCone always got something going on, some scheme, some scam, and trying to swindle some of his stablemates out of money. You know, I feel really sorry for Scott Sterling and Frank the Tank Parker and some of the other henchmen that he has in his camp as he goes in wild and missed that big shoulder tackle there. And this could be the extra added advantage that Steve Flynn needs right here. But I feel sorry for the Big Business Army members, because you know good and well they're getting shortchanged in their paychecks, because James McCone takes a certain percentage out for this, a certain percentage out for that. And I talked to Scott Sterling about this, and he thought it was a heck of a deal, and I felt really bad for him. But nonetheless, that's his business and not mine. But I think Steve Flynn now, his paychecks are a lot larger now that he's coming out of the other side of the locker room, but it may not make any difference tonight as he may go home with the loser's share of the purse, and Scott Sterling may take this Tennessee championship right back with him, which wouldn't surprise me because, like I said, he has been very successful in the last few months.
Very true, and he's successful right now at the moment as he's got Steve Flynn grounded, got him in a reverse chin-lock position, applying a ton of pressure on him. As McCone's out there feeling good at ringside at the moment, yeah, we all see it. But let's see how long this lasts, as it's one thing to gain an advantage, it's another to retain that advantage. As Scott Sterling now just choking Steve Flynn, got the foot right across the throat and upper chest area. Referee Jake Booth right on top of the action as always. But Sterling going right back in. He's keeping his strategy sound, staying focused on the head, neck, and shoulders area of Steve Flynn, trying to cut that oxygen flow off. But Steve's a veteran, man. He knows how to take this punishment. He knows how to take whatever is being thrown at him. And right here, he's proven it. He's made his way back up, vertical base, back elbow, a second back elbow, comes across, hits the rope. Oh, but Scott Sterling caught him right there with that knee. And you can see there was like bulls met for a second there. They both just stopped with that impact as Steve Flynn now having a hard time getting back on his feet.
Yeah, but Scott Sterling wasn't able to capitalize on that knee to the midsection either, as he had to go over and catch a breather on the ropes. And Sterling, wow, caught him with a big clenched fist right on that jaw, and he may have dislocated the jaw of Steve Flynn there. Referee Jake Booth sliding in, and I was about to tell Mac McMurray to ring the bell there. I thought that was it. Referee Jake Booth, and he looked stunned. Steve Flynn got that shoulder up, and it was about probably a quarter of an inch from the hand going down on the canvas for a 3 count. We've got a modified chin lock here from Scott Sterling as he's putting a lot of pressure on that head and neck of Steve Flynn, but you can see Steve Flynn trying to get the crowd behind him, and he's not having any problem doing that. And Flynn, he needs that support to try to, well, how about that? He got out of it the best way he can, and I believe the back of his head met somewhere else on Scott Sterling, and a clothesline took him straight down. Steve Flynn now, he's in control, I guess you could say, for as best he can be, as he is spent in that ring, caught an elbow in the top of the head of Scott Sterling. Slides in, and a big clothesline. Right over there in the corner, Steve Flynn says, hey, I got a little bit more where that came from. Take a look at this. Goes in for a big leg drop and takes him straight down with that, and got him covered there, but he failed to hook the leg. Not a smart decision on Steve Flynn's part. Maybe could have took the Tennessee championship home right there, but we'll see what happens from here.
Into the ropes they go. A big backdrop right there. Steve Flynn set him up there, and now Steve is going up to that top rope. He doesn't do this often, but it usually is successful for him. Oh, he caught him right there. Big flying clothesline off that top rope. Now's the time. He can do it right here. He's got him covered. Got 2 and got 3. There it is.
Referee Jake Booth, he said we're going to keep it going. I'm telling him he counted 3. We've got a pull of the tights here, and that's it. Good Lord. Wrestling fans, the winner of the match, and still Tennessee champion, Scott Sterling. Folks, we're going to take a look right now at what happened to James McCone last week. We're going to hear from the Tennessee champion, Scott Sterling. Then once that's over, I'm going to bring in the SSW heavyweight champion, Beau James, with some words. So let's take a look at this right now. Here comes James McCone in the ring, and he hit Beau James right between the shoulder blades, but it didn't do any good. I believe that just made him a little mad, and I can't wait for this.
I hope Beau cleans his clock.
I'm going to sit back and watch this, Joe.
He's got him. Yeah, here we go. Beau James now opening up Beau James McCone. Series of hard shots. There's the right hand. As Roddy Garvin is taking care of business outside on the floor, he's got Crunch and Scott Sterling down as Beau is just laying him in on James McCone. Series.
Beau has been waiting on this for months and maybe a couple of years, and to be honest with you, so have I. Wrestling fans, standing here with leader of the Big Business Army, James McCone, and the Tennessee heavyweight champion, Scott Sterling. And Scott, you was able to get through Steve Flynn at WrestleFest, but coming up on August the 10th at the International Spectacular, you're going after Beau James for the SSW heavyweight championship, and I'm assuming trying to get a measure of revenge for this creature over here.
Over a year, I've had this belt. If James was able to talk right now, he would tell you, I'm still the champion. Steve Flynn was no challenge to me. Now, I'm coming after Beau James, and I'm going to get revenge for James for what Beau and Ronnie Garvin has done to him. Look at him. He looks awful. Awful.
Yeah, you look awful. You got any words for the fans of the Mountain Empire? I believe that's the best interview I've ever conducted with James McCone. Scott Sterling says he's going to be the heavyweight champion after August the 10th. Fans, mark it on your calendar and be right there in Mount Carmel for the International Spectacular. Fans standing here with the SSW heavyweight champion, Beau James. And Beau, we just saw James McCone, hey, speechless, I guess you could say. His mouth packed, couldn't say a word. I think that's great.
You hear about rumors, and there's rumors floating around that I broke his jaw. There's rumors I knocked his teeth out, broke his teeth off. He had to have them pulled. He's got dry sockets. Whatever the case may be, I'm happy that he cannot speak out here on this TV. It took me 4 years, but I finally shut that big mouth of his. Now, Scott Sterling, I heard you're going to come after this belt. You have held your Tennessee title now for over a year, and that's a great accomplishment for any professional wrestler to hold on to a title for a year. Well, let me tell you this, Scott Sterling. I'm not planning on losing this belt August the 10th in Mount Carmel, Tennessee. I'm hoping to go for a reign like you've had of a year or more. Now, it's hard. I have been the hunter now for a long time. Now I'm the hunted. Eric Darkstorm saying he wants title matches. Crunched Equalizer wants title matches. Scott Sterling's already lined up. Frank Parker's got a rematch anytime he wants it, and I don't know when it's coming because he's very quiet since I knocked out James McCone. But I'm going to tell you this, Scott Sterling. You come to the ring August the 10th. You come with your belt. You come with every bit of wrestling ability that you have, because I'm coming with the same. This right here means a whole lot to me. It took a whole long battle to get this. Frank Parker split my head open. He beat me half to death, but I walked out of there with this title. August the 10th, International Spectacular. I'm going to sit there and watch Kyle Matthews and Eric Darkstorm because it's going to be unreal. I'm going to watch the Niagara Tag Team Champions and T-Rex Express come after Steve Flynn and Ray Idle, and then it's going to be me and you, Scott Sterling. It's going to be a big night. Wrestlers from Canada and all across the United States, an international star, and let's not forget Dr. Tom Prichard, the legend himself right here in these parts, returns. Friday night, August 10th. It's a big night. Scott Sterling, I'm ready. I hope you are too.
Fans, mark it down. The International Spectacular coming at you August the 10th.
This is WWE's Jerry the King Lawler, and Mountain Empire, this is your wrestling.
Fans, we out of time this week right here on the Power Half Hour. I want to thank you for joining us here on the CW4 and around the world on Blip TV. And if you're watching us on Facebook, thank you very much. Man, we had some great news about the International Spectacular. Saw some footage that's going to be leading up to the big heavyweight championship match, folks. Next week, we're going to hear from the Queen, Misty James. You want to make sure you're here for that. Michael Sutherland saying we'll see you next week right here on the Power Half Hour.